Welcome to McBoss Capital live stream. My name is Michael Chu. This is a market recap video for the growth stocks list that I follow for the week ending June 13, 2025. In my general market video, we talk about basically how the general market is under a lot of distribution. You can see that in the 4 weeks here, lots of distribution, and then we go into the number of stocks being accumulated is now less than the ones that are distributed. So there's lots of selling. And then in the sectors wise, we see that across all sectors except the commodity and energy area. And in terms of the growth stocks that I follow, on my list, there's about 350 stocks, 349. And out of those, only 25% now are in uptrend. So 75% are roughly in downtrend, and then there's some in the neutral area. So that's quite a big number in terms of how many is in downtrend. So the conditions for growth stocks have really deteriorated, because what happened was, we went to teens before 4 weeks ago, and then it was starting to bounce a little bit up to as much as 62% last Friday. And then we start deteriorating this whole week. As you can see, the numbers keep coming down. So here's the growth stocks list. This is the column that shows where there's an uptrend, downtrend based on the 10 and 21-day moving averages. Here are all the symbols. This report is based on April 7. So since the market bottom, these are the stocks that have outperformed in terms of their performance here. But right now we're seeing, like I say, a lot of stocks in downtrend. If I scroll down here, you will see lots of more red color rather than yellow color. And then there's some neutral zone within 1% of the short-term moving average. And then as you come down here, you see more of that. And then on the new high list, which is right here, this column, stocks that are making new recent highs are not there as much there anymore. You see, most of them have topped. So that's another potential issue, right? This pullback could become more severe. So again, out of 350 stocks, we are definitely not seeing good progress right now in terms of where the growth stocks are standing. So we're gonna look at some of the top lists here, and then and just get a sense of where the stocks are standing. So here's CRDO, number 1 on the list. It is pulled back recently, and it bounced back above here. You see that? It bounced back right there, and it's holding up pretty nicely. Here's the 10-day, so it's able to hold so far. So any leaders or growth stock leaders that are still holding up, those are the ones you want to pay attention. Again, we don't know if this is going to turn into a more bigger pullback and correction. If it does, then probably like stocks like this will even fall as well, right? It will come down. But if it doesn't, and let's say we do get a bounce sometime next week or even the week after, and the market able to start to bounce again, then stocks like this one could start to lead the market again. So we just need to watch the leaders and see how they're doing. But again, 25% are in uptrend. That means like 1 in 4. That's the odd that you're dealing with. 1 in 4 is still in uptrend, whereas the other 3 or 4 is still in the downtrend. So the odds are really against you right now if you're trying to pick, in terms of a wide basket of stocks. When we see HIMS ranked number 2 here, this one is very interesting because it really hasn't really broke down too much. It's just holding really tight, but it's also not moving much. Every time it tried to come out, it fell. Here, try again on Thursday, it fell, right? So it's almost like a consolidation at this zone, which is not a bad thing. Like this is, obviously right now it's consolidating at the bottom of the range. What we want to see is it start to consolidate at the top part of this range, and then eventually it could break out. So that's something to watch for on HIMS. Next we have ARLO in the security area. It is bouncing nicely on Friday despite, again, the market down. So this is one that is definitely outperforming the market, something to watch out for. And this is one of the few stocks that that are bucking the trend. So obviously, it could continue the bounce here. But again, the odds are if things start to get more worse, like I don't know even if stocks like this one or CRDO can sustain where it's at. Next stock on the list is LITE. LITE here has started to break down, so that's not a good sign. MGNI McKnight also starting to break below the 10-day again. Stocks are starting to break the 10-day moving average. That's why they're in downtrend right now. Next, we have HSI. Tried to bounce back right here on Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday, when the market turned, it also took another tumble back to the 10-day. So again, it's very hard for even the best stocks to come out when the market is just under distribution. So, but once all the distribution are done, at some point it's going to be like no more selling in the market index, and we will then the growth stocks will start to move, and these ones are probably going to be the leaders. Here's Celestica CLS. It pulled back on Friday, but you can see overall it's still a very healthy chart. It has been riding this 10-day moving average really nicely, and so we could see another bounce here. KRMN and Palantir both make a new recent high on Friday. So here's KRMN making new high right here, very strong. This is in the aerospace defense. Obviously, a lot of defense stocks move on Friday. Because of the Iran and Israel war, it kind of lift the whole industry group. Here's Palantir really coming up right now, it's making a strong move. So it's very strong. It's outperforming the market. Look at the RS rating. Then we have Kavana and BRT. Both are in downtrend right now. Look at how fast Kavana is dropping. I talked about this on Friday morning live stream show. It's just incredible the speed that it's up. So this is the problem that we could see. If this week's market coming up is continue to deteriorate in terms of market conditions, more growth stocks are going to accelerate in the downward pressure, because once this cross the 10-day moving average, then it can really move fast. And then look at this one, broke the 21-day, and now it's almost heading down towards the 50-day. So this is what could happen to some of these growth stocks here. BRT tried to come out on Thursday, but it came back again on Friday. So it's still holding near the 10-day, but it's just slightly below it right now. Then we have some chips and data storage stocks here. So let's look at ALGM and SITM. This one has come back pretty fast as well. Look at how the speed of this slope right here. LGM here. It is now at the 10-day moving average. It was quite extended. Now it pulled back. Here's another one, SITM. Very similar. Look at the slope. Very strong. So whenever I see slopes that are this strong, I usually don't buy on the bounce, because it might take more time for it to recover. The first bounce I don't trust, so usually I won't trust the first bounce when the slope is this steep. Here's XTX trying to bounce. This is data storage, very strong stock. You can see right here. It could work or it might not. I don't know, right? So it could form a new downtrend line right here, right? And if you look at that downtrend line, it's still pretty steep, right? Like it's probably lower than 45 degrees, like 40 degrees or something. Here's MU. MU is holding really strong. Look at that. It's just like didn't want to come down. It closed at the top half of the range on Friday. So here's the range here. It closed, slightly just above the middle range. Next we have ZLAB and IREN. It's ranked 16 and 17. ZLAB is biotech here, falling pretty fast here again. The slope is pretty strong right here. Look at that slope. That's ZLAB. IREN is pulling back. It's now at the 10-day moving average. CBI, oil and gas, and temp both are making new highs on Friday. Here's CBI moving up really strong here, starting to accelerate. This is oil and gas related. Temp has been moving nicely too, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days now. Actually 6 days if you count this one. So that's moving to new high zone as well. So this one is really bucking the trend. Then we have CRS, 1% of its moving average here. So it's trying to hold on tight right now. Duolingo, look at this. This is not a good sign. Whenever you drop hard and then it just went sideways, that's usually waiting for the 10-day to catch up before it goes down lower. So it's something to be aware of. We already talked about a while ago in the main video. Please watch that if you like. So you can see now we're starting to enter more stocks that are in downtrend. So the next one is SMTC. Now this one has pulled back to the 21-day line. Again, very fast how fast they pull back to 10 and 21 days. So this one, SCI, is trying to hold the 10-day right here. So this one look okay. Then we have LITE and AFRM, both of them still in uptrend. It means they're still above the 10-day moving average right here. So trying to hold on here. We have AFRM, it's still above the 10-day, but it's pulling back really strong right now. Really steep down slope. Next we have SHAC. The Shack now starting to fall below the 10-day decisively. That's not a good sign right here. Next we have Corsair Gaming. This one fell below 10-day. Now it's heading towards 21-day. App Loving. This slope is also very strong. It's coming out very strong right here. So this is not doing well as well. It's also decisively below the 10-day moving average now. So there's a lot more stocks going down. I'm not going to go through them. Feel free to look at them on your own time. MYAG, RG, ARWR. You see REVG still trying to hold up. REVG trying to hold still above the 10-day. So this one is pulling nice and orderly so far. Nothing too crazy yet. So we'll see. And then the gold are doing really well. So this one, which is the leading gold stock on my list, is now breaking out nicely. Then we have Mosaic. This is chemicals agriculture. This one was a really strong run right here. And I was able to capture quite a bit of the gains here. And then it started to top right here, the signal here. And then we got a hard down day here. And look at this bounce. Very strong volume. So this one might actually work. Again, these are in the commodities related area, which seems to be in favor right now. Then we have MTZ within 1%, SYM downtrend, AEIS within 1%, Road downtrend, APG within 1%. So a lot of these stocks are coming back down. HWN, a lot of industrial ones too, except maybe some defense related. Cohere, Dell, ATAT is still trying to stay as in the uptrend. NVIDIA, we talked about this in the main video. Max is uptrend. EXTR, downtrend. PAAS, downtrend. TSM also we talked about in the main video. We have XMTR and RCL here. Let's look at those two. This one has come down very fast. Look at that speed. So this was a strong leader previously and now it's starting to fall apart. It's very difficult to hold through a big pullback or correction because when the market pull back 5%, growth stock tend to double or triple that value. So if we have a pullback that is like 10% or correction 10%, in that case it will be usually correction, then stocks could easily fall 2 to 3 times that, on average maybe even 2.5 times. So we're talking about a 25% drop on your growth stock. So that's why it's very prudent that we need to manage risk, unless you're willing to sit through those corrections and just hold them and be confident about the long-term perspective, then yeah. But that's a very hard thing to do. So here's another one. RCL has kind of fallen apart. So it comes down very slow and then it just got really hammered from the oil news going up prices and now all the airlines getting hit hard. So we have MTSI here still trying to hold on. We also see FSS also still within 1%. So here's MTSI falling back to near the 10-day. So it's still looking pretty good, the chart overall. Here's FSS, it actually bounced back on Friday. That's actually quite impressive. So something, maybe this will continue its run up there because the uptrend is still intact right now. We have SoFi, SC, those in downtrend. CRK, this is oil and gas. Here's the bounce here on Thursday, very strong. Friday, I don't know. I would, because of oil and gas moving, it didn't really move the way I thought it would move. So that's a little bit weird. So, in fact, a huge drop in the morning before it bounced. So I don't know what is that about, but that's kind of odd actually. But anyhow, nonetheless, it did close in the upper range, so it looks good. Then we have ERO downtrend. We have air and rig. Again, defense and oil and gas. Here's air holding very tight here. Look at this. Doesn't want to give up much, right? So that's really good sign. Then we have rig here. Transocean. Wow, this is moving up nicely. This is a much lower price stock. So yeah, anyhow, it is moving up really nice now. Next we have Netflix Tesla, which is covered in the main video. Please watch that. KD downtrend. SLAB still in the uptrend. Upstart AVPT downtrend, TFPM making high. This is precious metal. Spotify still in uptrend. NVO is coming back up. FN in the uptrend. Bumble, BDSG, Intuit, Twilio, all these are in downtrend. Toast Ground also in downtrend. BILI is still holding up in the uptrend. Now Aris and TT and SNCY are downtrend. Microsoft still holding up nicely. PAAS, this is also silver, looking really good. Then we have XYZ, ITT, Melly, all those three in downtrend. MAO still within 1%. Dash, TDW, again, this is oil and gas, so those are holding up. TDW making new high. IRM is trying to hold up as well. RAM is in downtrend. ONC uptrend. HQY downtrend. Co-op uptrend. CBLT downtrend. Rambus within 1%. Citigroup downtrend. BZ downtrend. EXE within 1%. HEI uptrend. GFI is still in uptrend. So defense gold stocks tend to be doing okay. PNW is back down. So and then we have Reddit also doing okay right now. So yeah, so in general, you can go through these stocks. There's not many. ESLT make a big move on Friday, so that one's moving back up. NVGS here, Barrick Gold is still doing okay, doing well because of the gold. PM, tobacco moving okay. SD, again, lots of oil and gas moving up here. RC, you can see that. We have AESI, oil and gas field service. AR, oil and gas. MEOH, chemical specialty. OII, oil and gas. CTRA, oil and gas. So all those are oil and gas. So if you want to play the oil and gas, these are the stocks that are leading the chart right now. So we have XPRO, another oil and gas here. So feel free to look through them. I don't know if they're too extended right now, but yeah, you have to look at them. BT, HLX, XGS, again, more oil and gas here. All these are oil and gas here. This one's medical diversify. Let's keep going down. Again, this is it. So, yeah, whether the oil gas thing, oil stocks especially will move up because of the war, probably it will keep going because I know as of today, Saturday morning, things are still really heated right there. So I'm guessing Monday it may continue. But probably we may see a profit-taking zone very soon. When oil is up 10% and stocks up 10% in 1 or 2 days, usually we see some profit-taking. Unless the market thinks this is going to last a lot longer, then it might go up, oil can go up 20-30% from here, and stocks are just starting to move. So those are things to watch out for. But yeah, generally the whole market is under distribution except some of the commodities energy area. So thank you for watching. Hope you guys have a nice weekend and stay cautious right now. Most leaders are getting hit and we don't know how long this will last. So thank you very much. Please like and subscribe.